today I'm going to be making a tier list of the sports movies, 11 sports movies that I found 11 to 1. All of these I have watched, and we're going to make them on a tier list. Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be back to a tier list and we're going to dive into sports movies tier list. Something that I've not done before here on the channel. I've watched quite a bit of sports movies and I came up with 11 sports movies I can think of off the top of my head. Put them into a tier list and we are going to rank them from the 11th being the worst to number 1 being my best tier list. Now this is my list. My list is not the right list to you. It's just my list. So if you guys have anything that you want to say about these 11 movies or maybe your top 11 sports movies, I want to see them in the comments down below. Your top 11 sports movies. So let's get into it now. As you can see on my screen, I got my sports movies. I have Miracle. I have The Karate Kid. I have Safety. Disney Plus Safety. It's a premium Disney Plus movie that I watched just the other day. Not premium, but it's a Disney Plus movie that I watched the other day that I did really like. D2 for the Mighty Ducks. We have The League of Their Own. We have the original Rocky. We have the Mighty Ducks. We have Rocky IV. We have the Hoosiers. We have Remember the Titans. And we have the Sandlot. So we're going to rank all of these. We're going to start with 11th place here. And at 11th is going to be Disney Plus's Safety. Now, Safety was a very good movie. If you haven't seen it, I recommend heading over to Disney Plus and gonna go watch this movie. I very much enjoyed it. It was a very good story and it had a very good story to it. It was a good movie, but out of the rest of these are legendary movies, some would say. So this movie, compared to some of the other ones, is not going to make it in the top 10. So out of all of them, I think Safety, only being out for a couple, maybe a year now, is not going to stack up to the rest of these movies. Coming in the 10th place, I put D2, Mighty Ducks 2, our first one in the top 10. This is a very good movie, done very well, but it doesn't live up to the same hype as, you know, the first Mighty Ducks or some of these other movies. It had some flaws to it, but I really did enjoy this movie, and that's why it kind of made this top 11. I thought it was a good movie. I enjoyed the whole USA versus, you know, the other teams. It's kind of had a little bit of a spin to Miracle, so I really did enjoy this movie, and I liked having it, so I thought it did deserve a spot in the top 10 ahead of the movie Safety. In 9th place, I'm putting A League of Their... Actually... Yeah, in 9th I'm going to put A League of Their Own, Tom Hanks film, where during a war, women form their own baseball league. A very decent movie here. 9th place because, I don't know, I found some parts that I really did enjoy. I found it funny in some parts. I also enjoyed the story of the whole thing, and, you know, what happened in that movie I did enjoy. But there's parts that, you know, weren't great, maybe didn't make much sense to me, certain parts of the movie, but for the most part, a good movie, and that's why it is in our top 10 in 9th place. In 8th place, I'm going to stick Remember the Titans, another good movie that I think everyone hopefully enjoyed. I enjoyed it. A good football movie that has a good story to it. I didn't find much flaws to it. I just think that I've watched it once. I haven't watched it really many other times after that. So if it's something that I haven't watched multiple times, I don't think it deserves to go in the top 5. If it's not something that I would just turn on and absolutely tune into no matter what, I don't think it deserves to go in the top 5. Now, some of these movies I would tune into no matter what. And of course, all of these movies I would tune into if they were on TV. That's why they're our top 11 movies. But have I done that? Have I seen it more than once? That's what this list is kind of constructed to. Remember the Titans, a good movie. Very well done. It's based on a true story, but Disney did throw a little Hollywood into it, so that's also probably why it sits in 8th place. In 7th place, we are going to throw up Hoosiers. Basketball movie from a small high school turned into champions. Another good story. The only problem with all these movies is you can kind of predict what's going to happen from the beginning of the movie. You kind of know where this is going to go. Some of our top 5, you don't know where it's going to go if you don't know the story, or you don't know where it's going to go if you've never seen the movie. That's why those top 5s are so good and why they're in the top 5. For this one, it's your basic story, but it has some depth into it, some things that you would never even know. It's such a good movie. I liked watching that. That's why it sits in 7th. In 6th place, The Sandlot, a baseball comedy. The only reason it's not in the top 5 is because I had struggle comparing it to another movie, and I had a struggle trying to put it ahead of a movie that is a little more legendary and a lot more talked about than this movie, in my opinion. That's going to go in 5th place. So I was almost going to put it in there in the top 5, but of course I would watch The Sandlot if it was on TV. I've seen it multiple times. My sisters really enjoyed the movie. I really enjoyed the movie. It's a funny movie. It's got a good story to it, a good comedy, and a very good, well-done sports movie that they don't all have to be true sports movies. They can just be a good movie. And here's the movie that I couldn't put The Sandlot above, and that is The Karate Kid. I think The Karate Kid is, I was putting, at first I put The Sandlot ahead of The Karate Kid, and then I decided, you know what, I can't do that. The Karate Kid it's a more legendary movie than The Sandlot, and that's why The Karate Kid goes on top. It's a very good movie. Wax on, wax off. You hear those words almost, you could hear them, at least everyone's probably heard that phrase, and everyone's probably heard of, so it's a good movie, and it's legendary. People talk about it day in and day out. It's got quotes, it's got lines. It's kind of like Star Wars. Everyone's heard a Star Wars reference. Mostly everyone has probably heard a Karate Kid reference. That is why it is in the top 5 of our sports movies. Coming in number 4 is going to be Rocky IV, which I think is Rocky 4. And this is where he battled, what was his name? I don't know. But the guy that killed Creed, and I forget what his name was, but I know he was representing another country. He killed Creed in the ring, and now they were going at it together in a battle. And what a good movie. What a good movie. You had no idea where this one was going to go. With most Rocky movies, you don't. And this guy was a beast. You had no idea what was happening. And I mean, sure, you probably knew Rocky was going to win, but still, it was a good movie and had some awesome excitement into it. And that's why that is number 4 on this list. Sitting in at number 3, it's going to be one of my, this is the top 3. These movies have no flaws to them for me. That's The Mighty Ducks. That's a good movie. I watch this a lot. Probably like 3 times a year I watch this movie, especially now that Disney Plus has it carried. And I really like this movie. Now, this might be a controversial one. I get it. Putting this ahead of Rocky 4, I understand that some people might have a little bit of a fight against that, but this is my list. You guys can put your list down below in the comments. I would put The Mighty Ducks ahead of Rocky Rocky 4 because of how many times I watch it, what I enjoy, and that's why this is my list. You guys put your list in the comments, but for me, The Mighty Ducks is number 3. In number 2, it's between Miracle and the first ever Rocky, and for me, as I said, the first Rocky goes in 2nd place and Miracle goes in 1st. Let's first talk about the first Rocky. This is a good movie. You can never beat an original of many movies in Rocky. They had some good movies after it, but the first one is always going to be the best one. It tells the story. It sets the stage for an awesome series and a movie that so many people will watch. And so many people have probably heard references from Rocky too. So that's something there. But for Miracle, I am putting this one on number 1 for me because as a hockey player, and so many people how do you not like this story? A hockey team, highly underrated, comes in and wins the gold medal and beats the Soviet Union. Such an awesome story, such a great movie. Something that I will watch no matter what, whenever. It's that good to me. That's why that movie is number 1 on my list. Miracle, a true story, and the go again! Go again! Now, did Disney add some Hollywood to this? I'm sure they did, like they do to every movie. But when, Herb Brooks is a legendary guy, he's a legendary coach, and then you get the go again scene. So many people have heard of that, and such a good movie here. So there is my list you guys rate. Maybe not these 11, but your top 11 sports movies. Drop it down in the comment section, and I will make sure to respond to that. Till next time. Whew. Alright, I'll see you guys Sunday with a video, since NASCAR Cup Series is racing on Saturday, so that will count as our Monday video. So I'll see you guys Sunday. Most likely, if not, I will see you Monday. Until then, peace out.